Hello, can everybody hear me? Please raise your hands, those who have kids. Thank you. I have 2 kids. I was there when both of them were born, and I would like to wish them all the best when they are born so that they grow up as happy people. But a very important thing is the birth. And it is very important for me to share this with you. And I would like to thank you very much for having joined us today and for your support. My name is Pavlo Vdovich. I work at EBRD, and I am the coordinator of Merezha project. Today with Viktor Shkurba, who is the founder and CEO of ISD Group, will present the new online platform that will unite entrepreneurs, experts, business associations, and other organizations that represent the ecosystem created for support of SMEs in Ukraine. I will focus more on the overall context, background, and Viktor will tell you more about approaches and functions of the platform. I would like to have a clicker. So, a couple of words about EBRD. Working with small and medium enterprises, we normally find ourselves in a position when we're working in a partnership. We have many partnerships with financial institutions, with consultants, advisors, business associations, and so on and so forth. So we are a kind of a platform that unites all of these stakeholders. But the problem with this platform is that we are offline. Offline doesn't give you the necessary scale and the opportunity to see market in general, as digitalization allows you to. That is why we see that a platform is like this boat, will allow us to look at the ecosystem in general. It will allow us to cooperate with all business associations, accelerators, experts, and other organizations who will be willing to be present at our platform. Viktor, would you like to add? Yes, thank you, Pavel, for introduction. I'm really glad to see all of you here today. Before we proceed with the main part, every time when we say online resource, by that we mean online platform. And the main difference between online platform from portal, media resource is that platform on its own does not generate information. We do not have editorial. Platform is simply a tool, the task of which is to connect different audiences. You all have a platform in your wallet, MasterCard or Visa card. This is only a tool that connects your account with the account of the supplier. Platform is a very powerful tool that transforms not only markets but also industries. 60% of brands in top 100 largest brands are the platforms. Google, Airbnb, YouTube, we all use them every day. And I want you to understand after our presentation how crucial, how important and powerful this tool is. The tool that is supposed to help our industry and our market in the first place to become more transparent. Secondly, to help unite all of the stakeholders. And thirdly, provide analytical information about the market that will allow all of us to make conscious decisions. Thank you. Then I would like to proceed with my part. Look, what I learned when I started dealing more with digital, what do I think about digital? It is very important for me. Before you get into some digital story, you have to do a couple of things. First, you have to completely reload your mindset. You have to switch it to digital. You have to very often erase your experience, erase your memory, so that you come to the client, to your users, and start everything from scratch. You have to try walking in the shoes of this user so that you see how it feels like in their shoes, what pains and problems they're faced with. And you have to put on the headset, which will allow you to very empathically and subtly feel your users. And I would like to say that those discoveries that we came across when creating this platform were counterintuitive, were shocking, and very often they were a surprise for us. But they were the ones that became the foundation for the platform that we have as of today. And now I'm gonna tell you more about these discoveries. First, small and medium business does not need consulting. Small and medium business needs solutions. When we talk to them, when we look at how they use the platform, because when we did some live tests, they do not think about consulting. They think in the following way: I have a problem, and how can I solve this problem? And they make it in different ways. They read, they talk to their partners, their competitors, they visit different events, they view online courses. In the end, something works, something fails, and then they either reach the point of consulting or not. But this is not the foundation for the solution. This is not what they think of from the first instant. That is why our platform is not about consulting. Our platform is about the comprehensive set of solutions that would suit this journey when in the end the person gets to the point when they need consulting and start communicating with the expert. But there are many things happening during this journey. Secondly, we realized that in fact clients trust not the organizations, but clients rather trust people. They look in the eyes, they feel certain chemistry, they want to work with certain persons. They don't like the story when some advisory service is being sold by one person, the plan is developed by another person, and then it is implemented by the third person. This is something that is not necessary, something that is not needed. That is why it all changes. Before we said that business schools, business associations, different organizations, they were hiding experts behind their backs because they were at the forefront. And what we feel now from SMEs, they want to do it vice versa. They want to work with a certain individual, and this is what the platform allows you to do. Also, we saw how mature, how progressive small and medium entrepreneurs become in terms of information. They actively use Google, they become more mature, and it is not that easy to try and feed them something, as we could say. It is not enough for them, for somebody to just come and tell about life. No. They want to work with niche experts, with professionals who are focusing on a specific niche. That is why on a platform there are certain functions when the expert can only pick several directions or several areas that they believe they are experts in, and this is how the platform works. Also, we kind of felt intuitively, and it was very easy to be lost in illusions, that the small entrepreneur identifies their need and then starts working in a systematic way to deal with that. No, it's not like that. The entrepreneur has several pains in their mind. They are working on them simultaneously. And not necessarily they can properly name them, but at the same time, it is like a radar on a plane or a ship, which is analyzing different areas of business and all hurts at the same time. That is why platform has functions that allow you at the same time pick a set of business problems and interact with experts that have to do with this set in general. And the final thing that I would like to mention is that entrepreneurs, they live in a much more dynamic, in a much more agile and flexible world compared to the way it used to be in the past. They use coaching, organizational psychology, they go through strategic sessions, they do due diligence, they read information, go through online courses, and sometimes are working with proper consulting for 3 to 6 months with a plan, with a structure. So let us also understand that for the interpreter, this long-lasting consulting is only one of the options that they can use. That is why our platform will allow you to not only offer your services, such as long-lasting consulting, but different types of services that you provide, that you deem necessary, that you deem in demand in the market as of now. And now I would like to share some statistic data with you, because we came across very serious insight that requests of entrepreneurs vary a lot depending on their maturity level. So, in terms of statistic, we decided to take amount of employees. So, what did we realize? We saw that a huge pool of entrepreneurs basically are at a very early stage of their development, and they come across totally different problems, and they want totally different expertise from advisors compared to other companies. A typical situation for Ukraine is as follows. This is data from the State Statistics Service. Ukraine has 1.5 million entrepreneurs, 250,000 entrepreneurs that have 0 to 10 employees, 16,000 that has 11 to 50 employees, and 16,000 enterprises that have 51 plus employees. So this is medium-sized enterprises. So it would be very logical if this permit was the same if we talk about the value added. But in fact, in Ukraine, it works vice versa. So this small number of companies creates the biggest number of jobs and creates the biggest amount of value added. Therefore, all of these stakeholders, EU, EBRD, and others are faced with the classical dilemma. What do? We have to try to help survive those small micro companies and entrepreneurs who are only beginning their journey. Or we have to support them even before they had started this journey. Or maybe we should pour more oil to the fire and help those companies who have already found their niche to speed up so that they can move faster. And I believe that in our research we managed to find the answer to this question. It's very obvious, in fact, that we have to work with both. But in this case, we have to deal with more basic type of things, and in this case, we have to make them more personalized and more complicated. And now let me share with certain discoveries about what entrepreneurs point out the most often. What shape and form would be suitable for them to get information and expertise. So if we're talking about entrepreneurs and micro business, they need some basic information. They want to learn peer-to-peer. They are okay with micro trainings. And they also like mentorship, when there is somebody who will mentor them and who will help them deal with certain obstacles and hurdles. If we talk about small enterprises, then the picture changes quite rapidly. So this type of companies, they are ready for trainings. They are ready, as we say, to take commitment upon themselves. They're ready to dedicate time and to improve their skills at trainings step by step, but at the same time, again, this is more generalized topics. They are ready to certain standardized consulting solutions that, for example, have to do with automation of their business, and they are ready and open for consulting that has to do with more general type topics. So when we're talking about companies that have 51 plus employees, the picture changes once again, because they say, we already know a lot, we can do a lot, we have our professionals, who can deal with certain things, but we need some precise, targeted expertise. That is why we're ready to get information about very specific issues. For example, sustainable production, lean production, expert consulting, and for example, we are ready to get certain specific tailor-made consulting. That is why our positioning of our platform is as follows, compared to two large online resources. The first resource is SME Gov UA, which was recently successfully launched. It is also funded by the European Union, and as we see, it focuses on large number of small companies or to-be entrepreneurs and provides them with services of a more standardized type. There is also a large website, Buduj Svoje, and a number of other websites that we didn't mention, but we see ourselves in the first place as the core, so that we cooperate both with small companies and medium companies, so 5 to 250 employees. And we start with tailor-made solutions so that entrepreneurs can work with the experts who would be able to meet their tailor-made needs. And winding up my part of presentation, I would like to tell you about certain background. It was the European Union who insisted that we should include into our contract a point about this type of online platform being created. We see that it actually was quite a good decision because digital models allow you making market more transparent, more efficient, see who is in the market, collect analytical data, and make relevant managerial decisions. After the project had been initiated, we walked a long path. We were analyzing what is there abroad. We analyzed what is developed in Ukraine. We analyzed different scenarios about how this platform can be turned into life. And in the end, we came up with the concept, with the prototype that will today be demonstrated by Viktor. So, Viktor, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Pavlo. I would like to start with the words of gratitude to all the companies that were on the way. This is the ambulance company that helped us with the primary research. This is also Sky Killers company that helped us with the prototyping at the initial stage and testing at the initial stages. I would like to ask you to give them a hand. As this is a great example when the key market players join forces around one big common goal and create a great product. Small and medium businesses are the foundation of the healthy economy in the country. And I'm very happy that ISD Group, our company, has an opportunity to work on this project within the framework of Moving Forward Together project implemented by the European Union. And we are happy that this Merezha platform would be able to make a difference in Ukraine and would be the backbone for the economic growth of the country. And let me tell you a bit of history. 18 years ago, I created my first website. 17 years ago, my colleagues and I, who were also the founders of ISD Group, we created first online platform. And that online platform was aimed at connecting wealthy Americans, mostly men, with beautiful Ukrainian women. That was the online dating platform that was quite lucrative for our customer. and was a great experience for us. 17 years went by, technologies changed, principles changed, the ecosystem of consumption evolved, but what remained unchanged, the customer is in the heart of it. So when we work on all digital projects, we are focused on the needs of our customers, and in our case it's a peculiar one because we have two target groups. On one hand, these are the SMEs, and on the other hand, these are the experts. In this presentation you will not find anything that would be based simply on assumptions and our imagination. No, we talked to our audience. We carried out more than 15 in-depth interviews with the representatives of both target audiences. We've conducted a few waves of testing, and we tested our hypothesis on the product. We engaged experts all the time into the process so that we keep the pace with your vision and with our vision. We wanted those visions to be aligned. Having carried out all the interviews and having dived deep into the topic, we felt from the very beginning, and that is something that you probably feel every day, SMEs have their pains, some professional pains. They don't know what to do about those pains and how to treat them. And this situation is actually aggravated by the fact that they have no time. All the time they are in operational mode that does not make any time for anything different. On the other hand, they do not understand what is happening to them. They just feel that there is pain somewhere, but they don't even know how to word it in order to find the right consultant, to find the person with the right expertise to treat that pain. So they heard something, they heard some reference, and they try to pick up bits and pieces and find out what actually is hurting them. And the biggest issue is the mistrust. They do not trust us. On my way here, when I was coming here to the conference, I met a colleague who works at the video production company, and I told him that I'm going to a consultants conference, and he told me, consultants, those cons? Seriously? Yes, those consultants actually are the guys who help companies grow worldwide. They are the biggest enablers. They provide expertise, but this is the way it is perceived by the rest of the world. So with these insights and with these pains, we embraced ourselves with design sprints in order to find answers to main questions like how can we secure this trust? How can we make two parties meet and connect when one party doesn't simply have time and has no understanding of it? So we started thinking what could replace hours of attending events and search for some certificates and case studies. What could help in few seconds, and what could tell you in few seconds whether you'll be able to listen to this expert or not? Is there chemistry between you and this expert or not? Chemistry, this is something that helps you in 5-7 seconds realize whether you are prone to listen to the person, whether you are able to work with this person. And it works for the business area as well. So we were thinking how we could use that. And we decided that we should make Tinder for business. I'm not asking to raise your hands if you know what Tinder is, but please raise your hand if you don't know what Tinder is. Okay. So we have few people who don't know what Tinder is. So Tinder is a dating platform And on that platform, by swiping the photos, you could find the person with whom you would like to meet and talk. And we decided that maybe we could do something similar, and this is how we came up with the idea to make 20-second introductions on each and specific business challenge that in 20 seconds would send out the right signals and would explain to SMEs, would indicate to the SMEs and demonstrate to SMEs whether they want to work with the expert or not. So in 3-4 minutes in total, you'll be able to watch videos of dozens of experts, and you might find out about these pains of yours you had. That was the first challenge, but another challenge, apart from time, was the mutual understanding between these two audiences. So in order to reach this mutual understanding, we approached EBRD and we looked through various consulting models. We drafted a map of business consultancy, and it looked so beautiful that we decided that this map, this roadmap, should be demonstrated to the customers, to SMEs. But we realized that they simply do not understand it, because the way they understand something that is like, there is something hurting me. I feel some pain. Where do you experience that pain? Well, somewhere between my leg and spine. So this kind of vision and understanding should have been combined with the business consultancy model. And at that time, we also implemented the project with AI that helped us to show the difference between propaganda and real media. So we thought that artificial intelligence could come handy and could help forge the connections between these dozens, thousands, and millions requests from SMEs using the wording that they usually apply. So we'll provide them with HR strategy specialists, for instance, with the requests and queries like, I need a logo, I want a marketing strategy, I want design, I need new package. And this is how we came up with this idea. So these are the two core components behind the platform, and this is something innovative that we haven't seen in other places of the world. So to demonstrate how it works, I will show you one video. And this is the intellectual search, but it is not yet based on artificial intelligence, as it will take time to collect data and to test it. And ideally, the way I see it, maybe in 3-year time or maybe in 2-year time, when business enters the platform and we know some basic information, and if you simply enter "I'm tired" into the search bar, we will be able to find the consultant for this person, and we'll know that maybe this person has some difficulties with structuring business processes or communicating with other human beings, and we'll solve that problem with the right expertise. So when you visit the website, this is what you see. You see the information about platform, and it says that that's the knowledge and experience to solve the problems for your business. So the users could use their own wording, and we show the most relevant categories, and also they can pick from respective categories. By clicking on a category, we offer something that's related, explore related titles. When the user does not have clear vision of what he or she wants. So our task is just to grasp these pains, and based on these patterns of business tasks to find out what is actually of interest to this person. And we know that this should be done fast. Time is an issue, and we need to engage the users right away. We give the users a chance to watch presentations. Do you want to make your company popular? Do you want the most reputable magazines write your stories? And I will help you to tell your story in the way that it is trusted and believed in. I'd be happy to help you in your way. And at this stage, the only thing that user could do, this is to add it to the selected items. And the users wanted to send messages right away, but this is something that we didn't want to do. So you add it to your favorites, and this is what you're doing. Years of study at the international schools made me draw the following conclusion. Selling, this is not about the volume. This is about the targeted monetization of the customer experience for the money to flow to you at the right time. You know how the companies survive in the markets? These are the ones that have the competitive advantage. And the customers become more and more demanding. So in order to help the customers, you have to be able to find out what are the needs of your customers, and we can help you with that. And at the beginning we had our doubts whether it was possible to integrate presentation into 20 seconds. As each time we talk, most experts say that this is not real, but as we see over here, 20 seconds are sufficient to say keywords on the business tasks that are of interest to SMEs. And this is something they look forward to. This is something they are looking for, to hear some key words, some phrases that resonate with them. After that, the users could register, entering their name and the last name. Password. So they get their registration, and then this is the account of the user. While searching for business solutions, they could add it to the favorite. And to the right, they see the products that are the most relevant, that are provided by the selected experts, and also the experts who work on the similar challenges. So to the right, you see the information on the fact that in 5-month time, we will have the training for employees, efficiency boost. In 5 months, we will have HR marathon, and the users also can see the information about the experts who take part in it, and some main description of it. It looks like a news feed on Facebook or like LinkedIn, but it is wrapped around the information on the expertise that is needed to solve the specific problems of the businesses. Besides, there are cases of experts who are mostly fitting into the tasks this person wants to be done. By clicking on the case page, the user will see not only the title but the outcome of it, the result. And this is something that I enjoy a lot, because case studies and too many case studies, it's boring. It's just overload of information. So I like the way we focus here on three main pillars: the challenge, the solution, and the result. And we give the questions and answers. You could enter your information into, and you can tell your story. You can share your case in your own words from the humanized point of view. This is something that is of your own experience, from your own life. And there is also a chance to view the detailed information about the profile, and you can also add additional information about yourself. And there is a chance to send a request to the expert. This is the most interesting feature. And you have this label in distinction of the experts who work with EBRD. It's impossible. You cannot do that. You'll fail. Had I listened to these pieces of advice, I would never become a businesswoman and create my own company, Apple Consulting. And you know, they say that consultants are selling air. Yes, we are selling time, actually. So if you know this expert, if you attend his or her lectures and trainings, you can send the request to this expert. But you can, this is the form to fill in. You need to give the information about your business, the most important information. For instance, the number of employees, the area of your business. Is it consultancy? Is it the product production? But it won't take too much of your time. And of course, you need to give details on your request. Outline your project and describe it and what you are looking for. With this, you cannot write just 2 words. We will not let you send the request that is too concise, as it is very important to give the proper information, because we all have the times when we got irrelevant requests, but on our platform we want you to get the requests that are the most relevant, the requests from the businesses that are ready to work with you, the ones that know what they want. And you can view these pages at home because it gives a lot of information, and you can read about all the features, and the expertise is on the website. So that's it with the demonstration of the website. And I would like now to summarize. So the main task for the Merezha platform is to bring business to you, that kind of business that requires your expertise, that kind of entrepreneurs who are interested in cooperation with you particularly, and they cannot address you without using the proper formulation of their tasks or their challenges. They will also have the opportunity to read about your cases, and they may attend your events, and then they will come to you with their task being specified. Since this is the online platform, it allows us to see the data of the request, and we analyze this data, and I will show you how we analyze this data. I will show you the analytics, and we will be able to see the best cases, all of us, and will be able to improve our presentations. And one more important factor is that we'll ask SMEs to give feedback. And if they send the request to various consultants and they pick only one, they'll have to tell the rest that they have selected someone else, so that you do not need to clarify that on your own all the time. And just briefly, the most interesting feature that is on the website, this is analytics. You'll have analytical data on the real requests of SMEs in that wording that they use. And during the creation of this platform, we realized that from the point when the entrepreneurs feel that they have some pain, and by the time they approach the experts, this is a long way. It may take 6 months to say 7 years, and our task is to reduce this time lag, and we understand what stages our customers are in. The first stage is the curious ones. They are just looking for something on the website, and they just feel that they need to specify their pains. The second stage are the users who are subscribing to the events of the experts, and they are looking closer into the experts. And the third stage, this is for SMEs who are actually sending their requests. How would it help us? Because it would help us by means of not trying to present 20 areas of expertise as of priority. No, it will enable us to focus on the ones that are of the highest priority. And maybe some of you would want to work on diagnostics as well. So statistics and this kind of data would enable us get the feedback from the market and figure out what is happening on the market. And we think that this platform should be developed in 2 phases. So the stage number 1 is getting critical mass. This is the most important phase for us. This is when you are in the heart of our work. We help you to create the profiles, we help you to shoot these videos, and we help you to create the most attractive presentation that would be impressive for SMEs and would attract customers. And on the second stage, we make it open to the broader audience. And we will add the tools with adding events, cases, and if you want to shoot new video, you can do it yourself, and just with your cell phone, and you can upload it to the website. And our next steps, briefly. So now we are focused on experts, and we want to fill in this supply part, so that when SMEs visit the websites, they could see someone on the website. We have 25 experts already on the platform, and we'd be happy to see more. Our plan is to get at least 100 in the next few months. Besides, we are focused on SMEs, and SMEs already test this website, and they already visited, but at the next stage we will create a communication platform, and we will engage them in a more active way. And on the second quarter we will add networkers. This will be people and organizers who create events, who help experts and SMEs come together and reach common ground. And at the end of the year, we hope that we'll be able to collect enough information on interaction and iteration, and we will share it in business intelligence module and make it open data for the whole market. Thank you very much. I'd like to say that this platform, Merezha, this is a tool, and if it is not actively used by you, this tool will be inefficient. So let's develop this market together. Let's make it transparent. Let's make it comprehensible. Let's make it well-performing, and let's create growing economy together. Thank you very much. Thank you. It was very interesting information, and I have a suggestion. If you have questions, you could ask them now. Just raise your hand and ask the question, because the app will take longer. Okay, I see the hand, and the mic is next to you.
Hello, my name is Levtina Ivanenko, and I have the following question. I have just registered. Is it possible to make a video not with you? Because it says that you can film a video once a month. We have a day for shooting a video. Well, it's not that you don't have to do it with us. You should not do it with us. But we want to help you. We want to make it easier for you so that you're not bothered about what I will look like, what will be the background, how do I do it all. But we believe that in the future, you will be the ones who will be making the video on your own. You will control and oversee it yourself. It is just suggested on the first stage to help you speed up the process. Okay, thank you. One more hand raised. The mic is coming so that we can all hear you. Also, aside from advisor, there is also different consulting companies. So am I getting it right that this is the analog as EBRD who is bringing us together, collecting profiles of all the advisors who participate. So as a director, then I have to set it as a task to people working for me, 20 to 30 people, and each on their own have to put up this video, or do it on behalf of the company? Like how do we do that? Like one video per company or many videos per company? I'd like to once again to say that entrepreneurs want to work with individuals. And in this case, they feel more comfort working like that. And on the platform, we will work with individuals. In your case, basically, your company is an IT integrator. You have the key expert, you, in your company, as far as I'm aware, and you can present the company and have the team behind your back, team of people. But your face, your chemistry, your expertise will be the key for the users. But I can also put up 20 or 30 interviews with the employees. This is step-by-step process. So first, we will start with one or two key experts from the company. Then we're going to develop it depending on the feedback coming from market. Okay, that's clear. Thank you. There was a girl next to you. Hi, my name is Yulia. I am from Ambulance Strategic Lead Agency, and I would like to ask the following. How are you planning to invite SME to the platform? How are you gonna make your platform more popular in the business circles? Well, I would like to add on my side that this is the second wave that will start in the first quarter 2020. After we take the most loyal, the most professional experts to this platform, who are the guests of this event. So we count on that. This will happen in the first quarter. So how will that be done? We have in detail marketing plan in our team. We have a person, Joachim, who is basically working on this, and it will be rolled out step by step. So now I cannot give you precise information about the steps, but the key thing is that marketing in our case will be not outside in, but inside out. So user experience in the platform should be so good that the entrepreneurs will be willing to share information about the platform with their colleagues, and inside out will be the approach for rolling out this platform and expanding it. I would like to add that in reality, it seems to me we do not have any problems, because all of the videos of the experts that are there are the presentation of our platform. Every video that is uploaded is presentation of the platform. And that is why we will actively use the most successful videos, the best videos, to also tell about the platform and to bring people to you. Thank you. One more question. Konstantin Tsirik. Dobro Web Service, thank you very much for a wonderful implementation. Tinder gave birth to one of the problems, which is the illusion of choice. When people cannot create a lasting relationship, because it seems to me that there is a huge variety of awesome options. So the first obstacle in relationship, I just drop it and I switch to the new relationship. Don't you think that there might be the same problem when you establish relationship between business and consultants, when there will be the huge amount of different options and client will have this illusion of the huge variety, and then they will drop relationship if they find them complicated. Okay, thank you, Konstantin. We studied Tinder case specifically. Illusion of choice is coped with. They have certain algorithms that match you with the person, with a certain person who is good enough for you. So Tinder understands how beautiful, how pretty you are, how often your profile is viewed, what is the conversion with likes, and then they offer you a partner of your level. It's like as if Tinder is telling us, know your place. In our case, we are in the situation when there is no limit to perfection. One expert is better than the other, but it doesn't mean that the small entrepreneur needs the best, the most awesome expert. No, our algorithms are set in such a way that we bring together entrepreneurs with those experts who will be suitable to their level. And the expert also has the right to check the box saying that they will not be seen by companies from a certain area, companies of a certain size, or other set of parameters, which will allow us to boil it down. So this is the local density, which allows us to narrow down this choice. The question is about how do you help making the decision? I have 3 awesome consultants. So 3, 5, I mean, what if I have 10? On the platform, we are organically following offline behavior of the users. They take time when they are looking at the experts, and they do that within seconds on the platform, which takes them months in real life. They look at what they publish, what trainings they organize, and then when the person is ready, they contact one or all of the experts that they are interested in and start the dialogue with them. Thank you. I see many hands. Okay, let's do it one by one. If I'm not mistaken, you were first. Mikhail Kaps consultant, first of all, I would like to thank you for a wonderful job done. Because I personally know how complicated it is to do things like that, and the way you thought through the client journey is something that is fascinating. And I'm talking now about it, which leads me to the question about the client journey. We understand that entrepreneurs will go online. They already do that. What we saw at the previous presentation is yet another proof. Are you planning to roll it out more online and integrate it with social networks as closely as possible so that there is the two-way street? And also based on our research of the client journey in consulting, realized that story for many clients, especially for SME, starts with education, with an attempt to learn more. How are you planning to develop it within Merezha? The platform, if you looked at Prozoro, for example, or Uber, or Airbnb, you will see that they constantly develop, they experiment, remove certain functions, add certain functions. So this is an organic process. In the faraway future, we see it as a social network. But for the moment, this is a platform with elements of social network. But if a platform is successful, it always has the prospect for further growth and development. We have these vectors, but in the future, we will test it and we will adjust it depending on needs. Talking about online learning, as I had already shown from the viewpoint of positioning, Depending on success, the platform will expand. For example, as SME.gov.ua, I believe that it will be providing more tailor-made service. Будуй.своє platform now is successfully implementing small training formats. That is why we chose our niche, which is based on expertise of the experts. But we very clearly see in the focus of our attention when the experts will be creating these learning products and will be switched to other platforms, or yet another option that complies with digital thinking and mindset is creating strategic partnerships with those platforms that are more successful in doing that with the help of API and other mechanisms. We will be helping the user switch in a very easy and simple way. One more question. Okay, Mike is already there. Okay, then you first, you go next. Vladimir Zaharchenko. Thank you. Wonderful tool. I think that it will work just great. But aren't you afraid that, well, we understand perfectly well that as of today, consulting market in Ukraine is not that saturated in terms of clients, in terms of users. And won't we be in a situation when the colleagues already suggested the path when your platform will be oversaturated with consultants' portfolios, but there will be a very small number of users, so there will be this disbalance. And if you had thought about it, how will you cope with that? Because in the end, these individual experts will be lost among huge consulting companies that will simply spam everybody. And this is yet another thing about the development of online platforms. Let's take an example of OpenTable company that almost went bankrupt because they didn't provide for this local density, because they wanted to develop at the same time in all American cities. When they decided to develop in one specific city, for example in Pittsburgh, where they would work with 40 restaurants, that would make sense for the users who can reserve a table, who can get a choice. And then they would also enter Philadelphia and so on and so forth. So our task is to track this local balance in certain types of business services and add up new services in other areas, which would allow us to develop this local density. And this is one of the systemic risks for any type of platforms, what you're basically talking about. Thank you, Volodymyr. Thank you. Next question. Hello, colleagues. It is great that we have this kind of opportunity. I have the question that basically adds to the previous question. How will you assess the experts? Because you understand we're talking about marketing, and there will be thousands of experts who will be willing to sell something or present themselves. So how will you evaluate them? Thank you. This is a very serious, in-depth question, because the expertise carriers basically are all human beings, and every person in one or another way can say, I'm an marketing expert. You know, many people say that they're experts in two things, soccer and marketing. So we're working on the platform in the first place with people who have declared that they professionally work as consultants. They earn money like that, and they keep developing and growing as consultants, as advisors. So this is the first checkpoint. Next, there will be a special mechanism that will allow you to see how full profile is, what is the feedback from clients about advisors, the consultants, and it will also impact your search results when you will be looking for one or another service in general. But we have thought through this algorithm at quite a thorough level. Thank you. Remember, there was also somebody raising hand there on that side. Is your question still relevant? Can we please pass the mic there? 3 more questions. 2. Okay, 2. Look, One more question on that side, and there was somebody asking here, and you have been holding your hand up for a while, so 3 more questions. Let me introduce the girls. We also have representative of ISD Group company who are developing this app, Svetlana, Yasa, and Maria. Let's give a round of applause to them. They also understand it all very good, so you can also communicate and chat with them about it. So a couple more questions that we discussed publicly. After that, we're gonna have lunch that is already getting cold. That is why we first will answer the 3 questions, and then during the lunch break you can approach any of these persons that I have mentioned before, and you can ask them questions individually if you still have some questions that were not raised in this room. So please, your question. Mykola Savilak. Quite often we recommend experts to our members of our club, and it is important to track reputation of the expert. And one more question. Will platform somehow, will Merezha somehow show the price of the service so that the person can choose expert more rapidly? Thank you, Mykola. In the first place, thank you for your active cooperation. First, I would like to say that your organization, other business associations, they will also be involved in the process, and they will have certain additional functions who will be like superpower users on the platform. So we will have that. Talking about the price, well, we're looking at it from a different side. We take care of those experts who are present in the platform, and the experts will be the ones who will put up filters, and they will show their prices to certain types of companies. And intelligent algorithm will be showing, okay, this type of area, this type of company, this size of company, and they will either show this expert or not. So in terms of SME will not see somebody who's above what they can afford. And experts, this was yet one more discovery, they do not need traffic of irrelevant inquiries. They have to get very focused inquiries. And that is how we will protect this ecological relationship. By the way, this is the global trend, switching from quantity to quality of the content. Your question. Taraska Morenka, Center for Informational Business Support, Rivne. This is the question of ranking recommendations. Will that be taken into account on the platform after this matching is done? It will be taken into account, and both ways. If consultant, for example, if the client does not continue relationship with a consultant, then the platform would ask them for feedback to say why not. So this will be taken into account. And also, platform will take into account the search results to see if the expert is active, they have good feedback, and so on and so forth. And I would like to also mention that we're not going to make public a ranking of the experts. This is not exactly the right thing to do. Every expert will be getting information as to how visible their profile is. So this internal ranking that every expert will see will impact how often your video is shown, whether you're first in search results or not, and what you need to do, change, amend, tailor to improve your ranking. Thank you. And final question, please. Thank you. Andrei Stanchenko. Ukrainian Associations of Management Consultants. One of the strategic projects from LinkedIn is mentoring and consulting peer-to-peer. Do you know about this case? This is not even yet the case. It is at the stage of being developed. And second, am I getting right that Ukrainian consultants for Ukrainian business is basically what you are working on? So you're basically protecting the local market, kind of. Could you please dwell more about the second? So, are you planning to have Ukrainian consultants who will work with foreign markets, or, for example, foreign consultants who work with Ukrainian companies. I'll try to answer it. Talking about the first one, yes, we know about this LinkedIn trend, peer-to-peer project, and in April and May, these functions will be provided when companies will be able to unite into a network. That's why it is called Merezha, which is Ukrainian word for network, which will allow you to engage advisors and consultants. Talking about protecting local market, well, this is more of a question of whether our experts will work with customers from abroad. Yes, this is so. We even already have the signs of that. We see people from Georgia, Moldova, and Kazakhstan coming to the platform. This is quite unexpected, but it makes sense because certain segments of market in terms of supply, they are weaker. That is why they want to work with us. So this is it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for each of your questions. Thank you for showing your interest. We will go on. We're going to have the discussion, but right now we will have the lunch break. So please give another round of applause to our speakers, Pavlo Vdovych.